Under the bridge downtown, that's where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown. You know, I follow that account, Ezra. They've called things in advance. They've given information out constantly in advance, especially when they say false flag. Next day or two, like usually relatively quickly it happens. So on August 30th, approximately what, 8 days ago or 9 days ago, major, capital letters, M-A-J-O-R, major false flag warning, August 30th. Then he posts on September 3rd this Batman picture of the letter Q for some odd reason, like, you know, calling Q letter. Then he posts something that Elon Musk just tweeted a few days ago. Elon posted, order a Tesla Powerwall battery for blackout protection. So Ezra copied, screenshotted that post and posted it. I wonder if Ezra is telling us blackouts are coming. Gosh, I wonder if I had any dreams about blackouts. Boy, oh boy, you gotta write a novel on the amount of dreams I've had about blackouts and problems similar. Flooding, blackout, 9/11 type of an event. So then, September 7th, today. What is a climate change false flag, says Ezra. Originally posted July 20th, 2021. What is a climate change false flag? Today, what is happening now in Europe and California? That's his own reply. Deep September. And the D and the S are bolded, like deep state, DS, deep September, deep state, deep September. Of course, I just did a video on this a little while ago. California, we need you to lower your or raise your temperatures. You got to take one for the team. You know, we're having electricity woes. Okay, sure. So then he posts this interesting. I don't know what type of cloud. It almost looks like a giant tidal wave when you first look at it, but it's actually a cloud. So as you can see, back here are trees. You know, when you first look at it, it almost looks like a giant tidal wave, but it's not. It is some type of cloud system. Strange. So again, Ezra's posting this today. And he's talking about what is a climate change false flag. He's talking about, again, today, after he posted that a year ago, what's happening in Europe and California. False flag. So what he's saying is this whole, it's essentially nonsense. Whatever they tell you in California, it's nonsense. Oh, no, we have power overload. We can't handle it. We didn't see this coming. We've had some of the hotter days. Someone replied, oh, Florida's having a hotter day than California. Why aren't we having problems? Exactly. So he posted that, then that little imagery of the clouds. And then this message. And as you know, the letter Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Keep that in mind. I also want you to keep in mind, as I read these cities to you, ask yourself, is that a Democrat stronghold? Not just a blue city, but a Democrat stronghold city? Or is that a Republican red city? New York City, okay? He says, Now, disclaimer, I hate having to come out here and do something like this because if nothing, absolutely nothing happens, and someone takes this advice and evacuates one of the following cities, like he says, nothing happens, you're uprooting somebody from their life. I mean, it's unbelievable if someone believes what you said and they just go ahead and evacuate their city for a while. How do you just do that? You just get to take your job with you, you know what I mean? Like, now at the same time, maybe there's nearby cities that's not listed. However, they may be affected if they're close. Now, having said that, what if he's right? What if Ezra, and he's been right on everything he said in advance, by the way, if he's right and tells you to evacuate these cities, the following cities, I will read, and you did listen, and some event happened, like the power goes out for an extended period of time, just issues, or it's off, it's on, it's off, it's back on, which is what California is seeing right now. Different parts of California. Again, real, imagined, made to happen, da-da-da, agenda, whatever the reason. So let's go on for a minute. So if he's right, you'll be glad you left. If he's wrong, you're going to be pissed off you left. But I'm just the messenger here, so you do whatever the hell you want to do. And I'll talk about some of my dreams that I've had after this in a second. That's has to do with this. Evacuate from these cities in order from 1 to 17. New York City. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do out here in New York, New York. You can evacuate. Number 2, Los Angeles. Number 3, Chicago. Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. 2018 was such a shit show in crypto. Chicago, number 3. Number 4, Philadelphia. 5, Swamp City, Washington, D.C. 6, Houston. 7, Nashville. 8, New Orleans. Nolans. You got some of that Nolans rice? I gotta sing it. Every time I see one of these and there's a song about it, I feel like I need to sing it. It's like something about it. There's a house. Oh, how's that? There is a house. In New Orleans, they say the rising sun. Something. What is that? New Orleans, Charlotte. Number 9 is Charlotte. Number 10, San Francisco. San Francisco. Or is that Rice-A-Roni? Sorry, Rice-A-Roni. The San Francisco treat. Number 11, Huey Lewis in the News, Detroit. Detroit! It's not getting with a lot of style. Beep, beep. What's that song called? They say the heart of rock and roll is in... Is it Detroit? Anyways, 12, Seattle. 13, Atlanta. 14, Viva Las Vegas. 16, Boston. Boston. What was one of their big songs? Boston. More than a feeling. Don't look back. Let me take you home tonight. Feeling satisfied, peace of mind. Foreplay. Who Jesus? Smoking. Long time party. Amanda. That says third stage. Boston? I'm gonna take you by the hand, make you understand, snip subscribers. That was number 16. And finally, 17, Miami. Miami's rocking, baby. Miami jams. 17. She's just 17 years old. Leave her alone. They say. Separated by fools. 1 through 17. Final comment. Ezra. 17 cities, 1 event. Is that like from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. 17 cities, 1 event. 1 through 17, every single one of those, as far as I know, I mean, on one I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought, well, is Nashville? I guess Nashville is maybe a Democrat-run area. 1 through 17, these are some of the, if not the biggest cities in America, and they happen to be, most of them, Democrat-run hellholes, but big, giant Democrat cesspools. And we all know when certain types of things happen and certain types of cheating takes place, we know which cities they're happening in. Now, having said that, so we have 17, which is also letter Q of the alphabet for some strange reason. I don't know what the hell that means, but I mean, just weird. All Democrat-run major cities. 3 on the list are major cities that I've had dreams about. New York City, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Miami, Florida. All of the dreams were of a major, significant problem. Flooding, attacks, power outages, that sort of thing. Strange, I would say. So Ezra says to get the hell out of there, evacuate from these cities. So if there's 17 in one event that's going to affect apparently 17 cities, it can't be, you wouldn't think anyways, a 9/11 bombing off the coast of New York City. Okay, that might affect some coastal areas. But what about Nashville, Chicago, Los Angeles, Detroit, Seattle, Atlanta? Like, wouldn't make sense, would it? So what do we think about the video I did the other day? Oh my God, guys, the calm before the storm. The calm before the storm. It's an effing solar storm. Oh, now it all makes sense. And we got McAfee posting constantly about solar storms. Boom, boom, boom. Watch this, you know. Let's just say, for example, this is complete nonsense coming out of my mouth here. Let's just say, on a planet somewhere else, some far away, it's similar to Earth, very similar to Earth, but not Earth, somewhere else. And there was a lot of shenanigans happening around vote time in Democrat-run cities of importance. Just for example, maybe some or all of those 17. Again, we're talking about a different planet right now. Fictitious. And you were the White Hats. And you had to stop the electronic voting. Because you knew if you didn't, the same thing was going to happen. What do? You could fake a solar flare event. Wipe out some satellites, see nice stuff falling from the skies. Oh, look, see, we weren't lying. Stuff got hit, you know. And by chance, these 17 cities got nailed, have power outages, rolling blackouts, problems, you know what I mean? Can't recover, the machines got fried, etc. And even if the machines didn't get fried, we have no internet. This is down, that's down. We got problems. We can't vote. So we can't vote electronically. How do we vote? Oh, I guess we got to go back to paper and pen. And people standing there watching you count the votes. And seeing who really won through paper ballots. I mean, that could happen in another world, another planet that's similar to Earth, but not Earth. Just for the record, again, fictitious. The fact that there's 17 listed tells you and me all we need to know who's going to be behind whatever is going to happen. And it may actually be scary, and there could really be losses of life due to, again, power goes out, rolling blackouts, people freaking out. They think it's the end of the world. You never know what's going to happen. All of a sudden, things are rampant, crazy. The National Guard has to be called in. And by the way, was one of those cities Washington, D.C.? Caught between the moon and nasty Washington, D.C. It's close for me and you. Washington, D.C. What if the National Guard could be called in? And, woo dude, long time ago, don't forget about the blue helmets. Spirit showed me the blue helmets coming in. And it wasn't exactly friendly. Initially it was, oh, we need help. Okay, we'll help. Oh, wait a minute. You guys are trying to do something else here. Oh my God, you guys are trying to take over? What the hell? What, like, you're a military force? What is this? Something strange. That was a vision he got. Again, this is all hearsay nonsense coming out of my mouth. I've had a major flooding event in Miami dream where I was fleeing in an RV or U-Haul truck or something big like that. All the interstates were backed up, and I say all two of them. 95 and 75. Okay, pick your choice. And I had to find a back way going down different roads, obviously, to get back home up here where I live in this dream, getting the hell away from Miami. Something major had happened. I'd have to go back and look at my dream book because I don't know if I ever saw what it was that I was fleeing from, but I was in a panic to get it far away from there as fast as I could. So I know, just thinking of that now, I would say it's probably a flood type of event. I think I was running away from a flooding type of event, but I have to go look at my dream log to see if I actually said what the event was or if I was just hauling ass away from Miami for some reason. I wasn't sure why. I don't remember right now, going off the top of my head. Could have been a flooding event, but also it could be. Let me just say this. You've seen what happens when stores are set on fire. Certain groups of people start going on a rampage. As a matter of fact, Democrat-run cities. We could have a problem potentially on our hands. That's not even so much the blackout portion, which maybe it'll be part of it. But when the lights go out, in the city, gotta drive up north away from Miami. I wanna be there with my snippy way up north. Whoa. Now, why can't I just channel Steven? Crypto karaoke, just temporarily when I do that. So you're like, damn, Jay Snip can sing, man. That boy can sing. Unfortunately, I can't, so you get that. So that was a Miami dream I had. I had a blackout dream in Las Vegas. It was strictly a blackout. I didn't feel like there was an attack. I didn't feel like anything like that. The power was out. I was with my family. I went across the street. I realized, oh my God, I just ran a red light that I didn't know I ran because the effing power's out. And come to look at it, very few lights are on around here, probably generators in the buildings and stuff. And I realized, oh my God, yeah, the street lights are out, like the traffic lights are out. Oh my God, turn back around. And I think I was on a bike or a little scooter or something. I zipped across the street and I got to get my family because we got to get out of here. Like again, it wasn't about, let me go find my family and hunker down. It was find my family and get the hell out of town. Just like Miami, just like New York, these dreams I've had. And with New York, I saw a devastating flooding event in a couple of dreams, I think. And then I had an attack type of an event in a couple of dreams regarding New York. With the most recent one I told you about, with Jean-Claude as a buffalo on a hill, like what the hell's that about? And it was a major 9/11 attack, worse than the first one. That's the knowing I got in the dream. And I escaped in a John boat from New York City. So again, John boat, New York City, like, yeah, there's water around there, so it does kind of make sense. But that's what I saw in the dream. So I had another dream of a giant EMP tappy burst. It was a big planetary body. I took the family, but a couple, 2 or 3 4-wheelers. We went to like a little campground, and I was like, oh crap, I need to get something back at our house. And so I head back, and I go, I'll just take one of the 4-wheelers because it's not that far from here, and I'll just go down the sidewalk or something. I don't want to have to unload, hook up all this crap in the trailer. So I get home, I get what I came for. I go back out, I look up. I didn't look up yet. It starts getting dark fast, and I go, what the hell? So I look up, and I just see this big, kind of reddish, Mars-ish looking thing, I think, if I recall, coming like a planet, giant planet coming at Earth. I'll go, what? I'm just staring in awe, like, what is that? It's going to hit us. I'm like, oh my God, what happens when it hits? Like, oh. So I'm watching this, and it stops right before it hits. And it's not spinning like, we were told Earth does, whatever. It's just sitting there, this big ball of a planet. And then all of a sudden, it starts from like north to south, top to bottom, it starts turning. It didn't make any noise, but I'll do that for fun. And then all of a sudden, big giant burst, EMP burst. It then dissipates in the sunlight, whatever comes back on, just quickly, briefly, and then bang, 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 all the street lights start coming off. So it was like maybe it was getting close to dark or something, I'm not sure, but once it hit, I then remember seeing the street lights, just 1, 2, 3, 4, just all in a row, gone, power out, and I get this knowing. You have that diesel generator, the one I have now, 150 gallons on that thing. Don't you dare run that thing for pleasure. Turn on the AC, Daddy, it's hot. Oh, no. Turn on the generator for 2 or 3 hours in the morning, maybe a couple hours at night, and only have the freezers and stuff hooked up to it. Freezers, refrigerators, the essentials. And maybe while that's running, you could, I thought, well, you could turn the AC on for 2 or 3 hours and try to get some relief. And maybe that you could do that. But keep in mind, when you run a generator, for example, this one I have is a 33 kilowatt or 32 kilowatt generator, diesel. Doesn't matter what the fuel is. Bottom line is, the more stuff you have running, the quicker it's going to use the fuel. So just because I'm running it for 2 hours here and 2 hours there, doesn't mean I should turn on the whole house, because it's going to run at higher power, therefore using more fuel to run out that higher power to give all that stuff electricity. But if I'm only running 3,000 watts worth of stuff, got 2 freezers, 2 refrigerators, okay, whatever, call it 3,000 watts. For 2 hours here and 2 hours there, well, now it's barely even, it's laughing at that load, considering it can do 32 kilowatts or 32,000 watts. So that was the knowing I got in the dream. If the power goes out, and I'm not talking, a little storm hit, in this one area. I'm talking some event happens, power goes out. I was warned in the dream, don't you dare run that generator for pleasure. Use it for only the necessities. So I recently decided to buy a 58, I'm just going to say what it is so you might be able to search for it if you wanted to buy one, but it's only for diesel fuel. You can't put gas on there. And it's a plastic type of container, but it's made for diesel fuel. It's on Amazon. You can get it online. 58-gallon portable diesel tank or storage tank. And it has its own battery cable hookup to where you could put it on your vehicle, 12 volts, and it will run the pump. And then you could fill up your truck or whatever. In my case, I'd want to fill up my generator rather than have to hook up the generator, try to go to a gas station, fill it up with all these people there and all this stuff. You know, I want to have the diesel filled up, the generator, which it is, and then have that 58-gallon thing so I can make basically 3 trips. You know, 2 trips is almost 120 gallons, 58 plus 58, and it's a 150-gallon tank. So I'd like to be able to just put that in the back of my truck, which it's not small. You know, it's probably like, 3 feet wide by, no, probably more like 4 foot wide by 3 feet or something. It's not, or, somewhere around there. And it probably sits, 2 feet tall, maybe. It's a 58-gallon tank, but it has its own system where I can put on a battery and boom, start pumping. It has a little fuel thing, a little handle, put it in there and fill it up. But it'd be nice to put that in my truck. Of course, my truck's diesel in case I needed that, so I could fill the truck up too. So anyways, I went ahead and bought one recently. I just got a feeling like, surely, what's an extra 58 gallons of diesel? And I think that thing was $600 or $700. It wasn't cheap, but it's portable. It's, when it's empty, it only weighs about 60 pounds, I think. So it's not real heavy. Of course, you go and fill it up nearly 6 times, so you'd be over 350 pounds. Basically, about 350 pounds filled up. So you're not moving that around. It'd have to stay in the back of your truck or whatever. But again, that's what I would use it for, and then empty the whole thing out into the generator or the truck if I needed. My truck can handle 26 gallons. So I went ahead and bought it. I've got extra regular gas cans too for some of the other vehicles, my mom or my, my daughter's car or whatever. Wife's van, even though it's a hybrid, it still uses gas. So I've got some regular gas cans. I also bought this thing that you might find useful. I'll tell you what it's called. For gas cans, like the regular 5-gallon jugs, gas cans. It basically, you take the cap or the fill tube cap, they all come with that fill tube piece, and it's all one cap or whatever. Take the cap off and you put this thing on there. It is called come on. The people are waiting. They don't have time. Joe, we got things to do. I know. I'm on page 3. I'm like, where the hell does this thing go? There it is. TerraPump. TerraPump. Pump. TerraPump. It's all one word. 4th gen gas can fuel transfer pump. TerraPump 4th gen gas can fuel pump. It's $74, 75 bucks, but you can get it on Amazon overnight depending on where you live. Right now it says overnight if I wanted to. And there's also a 2-pack for $130 if you needed 2 for some reason. I don't know why you would. But what this thing is, it runs off of, I think, a couple of AA batteries. 2 AA batteries, but it also has room for 4, so it can run off of 2 or 4. Pump transfers approximately 250 gallons using 4 AA batteries, or half that using 2 AA batteries. So you can just set it on the ground, your gas can, because they make those things now so childproof and nonsensical. You don't even want to pick the dumb thing up and try to press the button, slide the thing, hold it, put it up there. Oh, it's leaking on me. Oh my God. It's effing nonsense, these stupid gas cans nowadays. Give me an old freaking gas can, for God's sake. No, we don't make those anymore. So you take the cap off, put that thing on there. It has a tube that goes right up to your fill spot in your car. Boom, put it in there, press the button, turn it on. And it will suck out the 5 gallons out of that gas can. Okay, turn it on. And it has its automatic shut off, I think, also. So turn it off or it automatically shuts off. Now go get another 5-gallon gas can. Do the same thing. It sits on the ground. You don't have to worry about it spilling on you and all this crap. Yes, you'll need some AA and AAA batteries. A very useful thing is a small 12-volt solar panel. Portable solar panel. I'll just type that into Amazon. They've got some kits, the EcoFlow, $1,899. It comes with a battery back. No. Those things don't last long at all. and you know, you'll run like a small freezer for like an hour and that's it. Well, how are you going to charge that thing back up? It takes too long to do it. It's not really worth it. But for example, I'll just show you the screen here. $150, and you don't need this big, by the way. This is big. Or here's even another one. $98. Foldable 60-watt solar panels, 5-volt USB, and 18-volt DC for camping, cell phone. So this one, and maybe that does too, but this one comes with a built-in, you know, inverter system. So it will essentially have 5-volt USB, which is your normal USB stuff. So if you have anything that plugs into a USB port, your phone charger or whatever, anything, this will charge it. I'm not sure what the 18-volt DC thing is for. I'm not sure why you would even need that, but it just says it can do 5 to 18 volt. And I'm assuming it also does 12 volt. So here's another one for $134. This one has more power at 110 watts. By the way, 60 watt would be more than enough for you to charge up all your phones, all your like little stuff with no problem. But here's another one. It can charge 12 volt batteries, which is a standard 12 volt car battery type of a thing, or these LiFePO 4, which I think is a type of lithium battery. Again, it's got solar charger with controller. It's got, again, built in. So there's a couple of options for you, but they make even smaller ones. I mean, they make real small ones. And I'm just trying to see if they have like a tiny one. They make these little tiny booster ones. Like here's one, 24 watt. Again, 24 watt would be plenty to charge your stuff. But I don't know that this has all the goodies. It does say, let me click on it. I don't want any my personal information coming up. Does it have stuff with it? On the back of it, it looks like it has some kind of charging thing. What do we got here? Yeah. It can charge for 5-volt devices, mobile phones, iPad. It shows it has, that one has some stuff like you can attach to it. So it must have a little USB port you can plug into it or something. $35, 36 bucks. Free, Prime, 1-day delivery. Again, even a small thing like that to charge people's phones, little things like that. Of course, your phone, you could use it for battery, you know, yeah, flashlight, things like that. It's just not a bad idea to have some small little thing like that, or bigger, you know, when the power goes out. So, there's another thing here. RIAPOW, RIAPOW, solar charger power bank. 20 bucks. It has a built. It looks like the size of a phone. Again, I don't want to put my screen up because it got information on there. Maybe I can just take a picture. Let me look. Actually, that doesn't show anything. I can share that. Just make sure. No, yes, it does. Let me just copy this and do the old screenshot real quick. And here we go. So, RIAPOW solar charger, 26,800 milliamp hours. It's about the size of a cell phone, maybe a little bigger, a little thicker for sure. It's got 2 USB ports. This middle one is the charging port. It comes with the cable to recharge it. However, it has its own charger right here. This is a solar panel. So, of course, I can't click on them. I'm over trying to click on these to show you other screenshots. I can't do that. But that one's, what did I say that was? 20 bucks. And that little thing will recharge itself in the sun. Now, if it's me personally, I'd rather have the other one I showed you. It'll charge your stuff while the sun's out. This one, however, or maybe both would be a good idea. You got this and one of the smaller units I showed you, because that thing could charge this up too. And the sun will be charging this. So this then acts as a battery power source later on. So it's at nighttime or the sun's not out, it's raining, something that the sun's not going to help you. Then now you got a little battery bank to charge your phones, your small stuff. That's all I want to talk about, I guess, for now. Bottom line is, Ezra put out the word. He's gotten things right way in advance before. We know there's going to be some kind of solar issue happening, and it's going to be glorious to see. However, what's it going to be like to live in these areas while this operation happens? Now, remember what so-and-so told us a long time ago. The ending isn't going to be for everyone. So if you're in one of these deep blue cities, you may have some real problems on your hands while the operation is taking place. And wouldn't it be interesting if certain arrests were happening in certain cities that were having blackouts? Communications are down, everything's down, certain people are being rounded up and taken care of. Now, we're in September. He's putting the warning out now. We still have all of October, and then pretty much a few days into November, it's election time. So if I'm going to knock the power out, I'm asking myself, why would I do it in September? Because there's still time for the deep state to make plans to try and do something else, somewhere else, to get those voting machines working and such and such. So you would think if this was going to happen, it would be a little later on. Maybe mid-October would be a good time. Or if there's certain early voting times, well, start then, before then. So that's my opinion. Now, I'm not the grandmaster of this plan, apparently. So if it does happen in September, they did it for their reason, and maybe we'll figure it out later on why they did it in September. Maybe it will all make grand sense. Like, oh my gosh, that's why they did it. Oh. But I don't want to be in Miami. I don't want to be in New York City when this kind of thing goes down. It could be chaos in some of these places. So having said that, I'll talk to you later. And I'm thinking maybe Sunday might be an appropriate day for a live stream for Woo Woo Dude.